Here, I'm going to introduce to you mnemonics in the laws of contracts. Mnemonics are very sentences that helps you to recall some of basic ideas. So to start with, this is a one page, a pager that can summarize what laws of contract look like, especially in US legal system, in US law. So I will start from here. Contract, for the laws of contract, we have two different laws. One is common law, the other one is universal commercial code, UCC. One source of law of contract is universal commercial code. It is a codified law that is usually for the law for the goods, sale of goods. Anything related to goods, we have universal commercial code. The other source of contract is common law. These are for services and anything other than goods. So, having seen these two sources, so in a US legal system, the laws of contract come either from UCC or from common law. All right. Then, what is contract? Generally, I'm not going to define contract is an agreement, this and that. Instead, there are three basic things in the laws of contract. One is form. I wrote form. It's to mean formation. It's formation. It's how contract is formed. Second one is performance. That is execution of the contract. Under formation, generally you have the agreement, the offer, acceptance, and consideration stuff under formation of the contract. You have performation or performance is the second part of the contract. Third part of contract, if there is a problem with performance, we talk about remedies. Under contract law, the three basic questions are: is a contract formed? Was a valid contract formed? Was it performed? It has to be performed. If there is a valid contract, then we talk about performance. If there is a problem in the performance, we talk about remedies of, if there is a breach in performance, so we talk about remedies. So there are these three major things. Having seen these three major things, so generally, the mnemonics, here comes the mnemonics. The first mnemonics is all contracts do not stink. Or the mnemonics, all contracts do not stink, is to show you what we need for formation of contract. For formation of contract, they all represent agreement. Contract representation, consideration. Under agreement, we need offer, acceptance, right? Then for a contract, we need consideration. There should be consideration for any agreement to be called a contract. Then all contracts do not stink, right? Do not represent defenses. Under defenses, we have several defenses. Okay? What are those defenses? We have, the first is all contract do not stink, the first mnemonics. For defenses, we have another mnemonics. The other mnemonics is up here. It's called my iguana might faint during intense ukulele concert. My iguana might faint during intense ukulele concert is a mnemonics for defenses. What are those defenses? Well, the first defense, my, is misunderstanding. Second defense, incapacity. So for any contract, if there is incapacity, so that contract, the incapacity include minor, maybe age, maybe mental condition, insanity, and all other intoxication and all other things, incapacity. My is misunderstanding, iguana is incapacity, might is mistake, feint is fraud. Okay, this invalidated contract. Actually, even the defenses are divided into two. One is void, and the other one makes the contract voidable. Those which defenses make a contract void? The void, for example, incapacity. If there is a problem in capacity, that is void contract. Here, feint, fraud, that contract is void. So my iguana might feint during is here duress. Duress, void. Intense is legality, void. Ukulele concert, ukulele is unconscionability. So the rest, the four are void. You see, incapacity, contract with incapacity, void. Feint or fraud, void. Duress, void. Intense, illegality, void. If contract is, the object, usually in Ethiopia we say the object of the contract. Actually, when you define contract, we say elements of contract, and then the first element, consent, the second element, object, the third element, probably, what's the third element? Yeah. We have consideration. The other element is form, right? Actually, here we don't have. The form would be under another one, under statute of fraud. Under statute of fraud, that is close to form because it's under there. So I gave you two mnemonics now. The first one, all contract do not stink. The second one, my iguana might faint during intense ukulele concert, which is for defenses. This mnemonics for defense. And the stink here is a statute of fraud, right? A statute of fraud. What is a statute of fraud? A statute of fraud makes it's very. A statute of fraud is usually we talk a certain kind of contract that need different form. That has to be in writing, right? That is what we call a statute of fraud. So for a statute of fraud, we have what? We have another mnemonic, the third mnemonic. The first mnemonic is this one, the second mnemonic is this one, the third mnemonic for a statute of fraud is Mr. Sor. Mr. Sor is one, marriage. Anything related to marriage, any contract related to marriage has to be in writing. Suretyship, that has to be in writing. Mr. Sor, S is suretyship. O is a contract that takes more than 1 year. Maybe it's a building, it's different things. That contract continues for more than 1 year. It has to be in writing. The U is UCC. Any contract under Universal Commercial Code for sale of goods greater than, for more than 500 USD. Anything that is 500 and above, be more than 500, should be in writing. And the fourth one is real estate. Any real estate, house, land, anything, any contract regarding this, Mr. Sor, should be in writing. So now we have seen three mnemonics so far. All contract do not stink. It's all about formation. Under all contract do not stink for do not or defense, we have another mnemonic which is my iguana might faint during intense ukulele concert. The second mnemonic. The third mnemonic for statute of fraud is Mr. Sor. Okay, now we're done with formation. Come back. The second one is performance. So in performance, we have another mnemonic. The other mnemonic we have is pizza with crawling escargot. That's the fourth mnemonic. While we talk about pizza with crawling escargot, by the way, first let me define the mnemonic. Pizza is parole evidence rule. With is warranties. crawling is conditions, escargot is excuses. Usually we have to execute a contract. All parties should execute a contract, should perform. However, there are considerations during performance. There are things we look at. For example, we look at warranties. For example, especially for sale of goods, we look at warranties. If there are warranties that can exempt, okay? There are conditions also. Some contracts come with conditions. There are some also excuses, okay? For the excuses, we have another mnemonic, which is I feel really done, which the excuses are impossibility or impracticability or impossibility, the I. That is, if that happen, there is no performance, because these excuses, for example, impossibility such as force majeure are impossibility or impracticability. Maybe if the contract is impossible, maybe I signed contract assuming that I am a carpenter or an engineer to fix a roof, and if that house is burned down, there is no reason that is impossible. So there is no contract because the house is burned. There is no roof that I can. So that that is impossibility under such situation. The other thing is for feel we have frustration of purpose. We have frustration of purpose. Then the contract is maybe rescinded or revoked. If contract is revoked, also you can't perform it, or it can be released, or there is a death of one of the parties. Maybe the party who you contracted with, maybe a singer, he dies, he can't perform. So these ones make performance impossible, these excuses. So under performance also we have this mnemonic, and under excuse I feel really done is another mnemonic. I think we have done about 6 mnemonic. The only remaining one is remedies. That is another version. We'll come back to remedies.